Into his campaign decisions, but there is no question that his campaign continues to be a magnet for racial controversy. Just today, Louis Farrakhan announced his continued support of Obama, despite the fact that the Illinois senator denounced his endorsement in Tuesday's debate. Joining us now is Republican strategist Michael Steele and Temple University professor Dr. Mark Lamont Hill. Dr. Hill, let me start with you. He's been very clear, Barack Obama has, that he renounced and rejects the endorsement of Louis Farrakhan. What more does he have to say at this point to stop being hit over the head with a Farrakhan endorsement?
There's absolutely nothing else he can do. He went to extravagant lengths during the debate to show that he didn't approve of Farrakhan's endorsement. There's nothing else he can do. I think people will continue to bring it up to keep muddying the waters and racializing the conversation, but there's nothing Obama can do. He handled it the best way he could based on his beliefs. And
Michael Steele, nobody was talking about the endorsement yesterday of John McCain by John Hagee, who's an end-of-times pastor, who has said some very negative things about the Catholic Church. And Senator McCain has said he's honored to have the endorsement. Let me show you what John Hagee has said. Let's roll that.
When Adolf Hitler came to power, he said, "I'm not going to do anything in my lifetime that hasn't been done by the Roman Church for the past 800 years. I'm only going to do it on a greater scale and more efficiently." And he certainly has done just exactly that. This false religious system is going to be totally devoured by the Antichrist.
And Michael Steele, he also said Jews are responsible for being persecuted. Should John McCain renounce that endorsement?
I guess. I mean, I'm familiar with that particular comment that this pastor has said. But if that's in fact the case, and the McCain campaign feels that it is an issue or something that they do not want to be associated with, absolutely. You know, I think the same is true with Barack. I mean, the interesting thing about Barack is instead of just coming out and saying, no, this is not something that I support and I denounce it, he kind of did the dance. And I think that's what creates more of an issue and more of a story.
Well, what do you mean dance? What more does he have to do? He's rejected the endorsement.
Look, I mean, come on. Alan, you watched it, you saw it, you know exactly what the dance was. And until Hillary actually pinpointed the words and put it in the proper perspective and context of the conversation,
Michael, he renounced it. Well, John McCain is honored to get the endorsement of a guy who blasts Catholics and says Jews are responsible for their own persecution.
What Hillary did was make a distinction without a difference. If you are so honored, then take the endorsement and move on.
But Mark, let me step in here. If I told you tonight that my pastor gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to David Duke, what would you think of me?
It would really depend, Sean. I mean, it may not change what I think of you at all, but I think the question is...
No, I don't want what your question is. No.
Let me answer the question.
If my pastor gave a Lifetime Achievement Award and praised David Duke,
it would matter.
What would you think of me and that church?
It would depend on how you respond to the endorsement. Barack Obama very clearly said that he did not approve of his pastor's endorsement.
Do you think it would be appropriate for me to go to...
Would
it be appropriate for me to associate with a pastor that gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to David Duke, or would that be inappropriate?
But I don't accept the idea that David Duke and Louis Farrakhan are on the same level.
You know, Louis Farrakhan, who said the white man's the skunk of the planet Earth and Judaism's a gutter religion, do you believe Louis Farrakhan is an anti-Semite and a racist, Mark?
I do not represent Louis Farrakhan. What I can say is...
Mark, no, stop.
I can't speak for him.
Answer the question, Mark. I'm asking you a question. Is he a racist and an anti-Semite?
I do not know whether he is anti-Semite.
When he says the white man is the skunk of the planet Earth and that Judaism is a gutter religion?
Those quotes are both severely out of context. But the point here...
Stop right here. Stop it.
You're diverting the attention away from Barack Obama. The point here is that Barack Obama has denounced those things. And all you're doing is muddying the water by ignoring the fact that Barack Obama has denied it.
Where is your moral courage? Where is your moral strength and your integrity and your core values and your principles? He has a history of anti-Semitism and racism,
right now.
and you don't have the moral courage to condemn it, and I find that reprehensible.
What I find reprehensible is the fact that you are diverting attention away from the fact that Barack Obama has clearly
distanced himself
that
it's
from
wrong
both Barack
that his
Obama
pastor
and the endorsement of his pastor
gave a Lifetime Achievement Award to this guy. And I'm going to tell you something.
Obama said he didn't approve of it. What else do you want him to do, Sean?
I don't understand, Michael Steele. Why is there this reluctance among so many to identify Louis Farrakhan for the hate monger, the anti-Semite, and the racist that he is?
Well, I think, Sean, that you have to come at this from two different perspectives. One is the perspective that you have, and the other is the perspective of a lot of African Americans who have been in the field with Farrakhan, if you will, who've worked and toiled with him,
exactly,
and understand the context in which some of the comments that others in this country view as reprehensible and outrageous, as consistent with a pattern of behavior by those who have oppressed and repressed the black community. So you've got to keep it in the context here, and I think at the end of the day, you know, those words, those ugly words are harsh and they're terrible, and they should be renounced. I would never
be a part of a church that honored somebody with racist and anti-Semitic views, and I think Barack Obama has a lot of questions to answer as this campaign goes on. Thank you guys for being with us. Senator Trent Lott tells us why America